Tuesday and Wednesday were the most generational hate watch I've ever seen in my entire life. And here's why. I don't like Barcelona at all whatsoever. Simply because of Rafinha, Gavi, the fan base thinking that Pedri is better than Bellingham, better than Arda Güler. When in reality, it's not true. Look at the stats. But I will say I am happy that Barcelona is out because Rafinha is no longer in talks of the Ballon d'Or. If Barcelona would have made it to the final, then yes, we can say that Rafinha was still in talks to winning the Ballon d'Or. I think out of these two finalists, whoever wins is going to take the Ballon d'Or, which is going to be either Lautaro Martinez. People are comparing Lautaro Martinez to a Milito-esque type of player. And then Ousmane Dembele, which is killing it in the Farmers League. And then, if PSG wins the Champions League, then again, Dembele's going to take the Ballon d'Or. But Mbappe's not even in the talks. I don't think he's going to win it. Rafinha's not going to win it. And if he does win it, it's a robbery. But then again, I don't know. He's not doing really good in La Liga. He's not even like top goal scorer. He's not at Pichicha for Barcelona. So we're going to start off on Tuesday, which was the Inter Milan versus Barcelona. It ended up being 4-3 in extra time. And the craziest part of this whole entire thing was that the fact that everybody's saying Barcelona should have advanced because of the way they scored the goals. And here's one of the guys that I'm going to show you. One of the guys that I'm talking to you about. This guy right here. I don't know who he is. I guess his name. Let me see. I guess his name is this guy. This guy right here. His name is MikeGrella. If you look this dude up, MikeGrella, he has a mediocre. Let's look at his Wikipedia for context right here, right? MikeGrella, from 2007 to 2008, he was playing Long Island Rough Riders. Who the fuck? 17 appearances, 10 goals. That's pretty good. And then for 2008, Kerry Clarets, 3 appearances, 2 goals, not a lot of playing time. And then for Leeds United in 2 years, 2009, 2010, and 2011, 29 appearances and only 1 goal in Leeds United. Trash ass player. Went on loan in 2010, Clarissa Shields, 10 appearances, 3 goals. He's had a mediocre. And the New York Red Bulls, 2015 to 2017, 73 appearances and 16 goals. This guy, MikeGrella, he's the one that's saying that Barcelona should have advanced to the final just because they scored amazing goals. If I can pull this up on my history on what we were watching.
I want to cover their eyes when they don't have the football because it...
Just listen to this trash. Just listen to this trash take. This is who they be hiring. This is who they have. A mediocre trash ass ex-pro soccer player. Look at this shit.
Was so terrible. Yes, their attack is good. So isn't...
Mind you, Serie A always plays defensive. They play like Atletico Madrid. Always play like that for the past 3 decades, for the longest I can remember. They only care about not conceding any goals, and that's it. They play super defensive and go on the counterattack. That's pretty much what it is. If they can concede less goals, that's a huge dub in the Serie A. In Serie A, they praise not getting scored on. Clean sheets are like Ballon d'Ors for them. So, but let's continue and see this trash ass commentator, trash ass take. An MLS player that retired. MLS player is arguing with a Aston Villa player who actually played ball in the EPL.
Tied to Barcelona, and we only start to follow them more so in the Champions League, obviously. And when I watch them play, how is difficult not to fall in love with the style of football of Pedri, Yamal, Rafinha. I'm not a fan of Barcelona, but when I think about football and I think about something that makes me happy, or something about something I want to show my kids, I want to show them Barcelona play when they have the football. I want to cover their eyes when they don't have the football because it's the stuff of nightmares. But it's like.
Are you listening to this? I want to cover my son's eyes because they don't have the ball. What is this guy even talking about? Just because a team that you like and just because you're watching a team that you like and how they play ball doesn't have the ball. I'm gonna turn the TV off because they don't got the ball. And I hate how they play. If this isn't biased, I'm not a Barcelona fan. But I like how Barcelona plays, and if if Barcelona doesn't have the ball, I'm not gonna be watching the other team because it's boring. Fucking out of here with that shit.
Like a friend that goes to work all day to make $300, and then at night he gambles it all away. That's exactly what they did on the ball. It's like some of the best football we've ever seen. It's the reason why we watch football.
You want to know what the best football I've ever seen was? Guardiola Tiki Taka. And this is nothing near. This guy never probably seen Guardiola Tiki Taka. That with Barcelona, that was the best, the most beautiful football I've ever seen in my entire life. That and then Luis Enrique when he had Barcelona, oh my gosh, amazing football. And now that he has PSG are playing so good. So good. I love watching PSG play, but let's continue with this trash-ass commentator.
Well, none of us got into football, maybe except for Nige, but none of us got into football to watch a team play with 29% possession and then grind it out. Yeah, so occasionally you have to manage moments and manage games. But we watch football for Ronaldinho, for Maradona, for Pele, for the beautiful goals that you can score, for the beautiful moments, for the dream of football. No kid plays football and says, yeah, I don't want to touch the ball for
no, Grella,
more than half the.
That's what their tactics for a reason, my guy. Why do you think Atletico Madrid plays like that? Why do you think Serie A plays like that? I don't want to touch the ball for like 30 minutes and then, I want to see goals. I want to see the beautiful game. Okay, go watch some highlights. If you want to watch, go watch some highlights. Don't watch the game. No one's forcing you to watch the game just because he's so pressed that Inter played the way they played. They've been playing like this. For decades. Inter has been playing like this for decades, and he's pissed because they beat Barcelona when they've been playing like this for decades. Like, I just don't understand. This guy has no ball knowledge.
I disagree with that because everyone knows as players there's levels to it.
I told you.
You have to play to the level of players that you have. Inter playing to their strength of the team that they are and the players that they are. They're not going to compete.
Mind you, Dumfries and Thuram were injured too. Just saying. And they still went out there and gave it all they got.
For possession with the ball of Barcelona and outrun them because they're not athletic. They can't compete in that sense.
Because which team's better?
No, because they're an older team.
Why? Because which team is better? Holy shit. Which team is better? Inter, buddy. Inter's better.
Inter, they don't have the players. They're playing to the strength of the players. So for me, what you're saying is, I understand that to a certain degree, but you've got to give credit to Inter because...
I am giving credit to Inter.
No. You're not giving the full credit because you know as well as a player, the biggest thing is commitment, desire.
Hey. But Mike Gillis, though, he has no commitment. He has no desire. He was only there for paychecks. He wasn't there for no passion. And he's pissed because the team that he wanted, the team he bet on, lost. That's crazy.
And will, which is what Inter showed today. They didn't have it all their way in the entire game. And if you don't have that as a foundation as a player, it doesn't matter how good you're on the ball.
I agree.
If you don't have that aspect of it, yes, Barcelona played a better football and everything like that. But when you watch that game again, you look at Sommer's performance, Cherby's, some of them Inter players, it's about that. That is part of football. That is the foundation of football that we grow up on.
It's an ingredient of all those things.
Don't have those basic ingredients to compete. You're not going to be watching any football.
And I suppose
if they don't do that,
but I wouldn't say that Barcelona didn't compete.
I'm not saying that you're not giving Inter more than credit. I would say they did because they got.
You think Inter competed more than them?
Grella.
I don't think so.
They were.
You don't. Holy sh. It's just so triggering. It's so cringe watching this guy saying that. You don't think Inter competed? Bro, they really rested up their players for a whole week. They rested their whole players for a whole week. They literally put everything on the line for Champions League. They don't give a fuck about, they don't care about the Serie A Cup. They don't care about, the league. They care about the Champions League. That's literally all they care about. They put everything into the Champions League and look where they got it. Twice they made it to the finals. One against Manchester City, which they lost 1-0. And then now they're going to make it to another final against PSG. And I think that PSG might end up winning this one. I don't know. But Barcelona kind of has the same style as PSG, super, super offensive. Will PSG last over 90 minutes, because what we saw against Barcelona didn't last all 90 minutes. Just saying. But here we see Gillis, or whatever his fucking name is, pretty much saying that Inter wasn't really competing; they were surviving. And I'm like, in my head, in my opinion, you have to play tactful. You have to play smart. You have to play the way you play with the players that you got. He's never been a coach. He's never played high tier football. He's played mediocre football, and that's all he knows. Mediocre ass player, and he's so biased.
3-2 down, right? They were suffering. Even we said, "Oh, Inter look gassed. Inter look like there's nothing." And to come through that, and to get that third goal, and to take it to extra time, and to get that winning goal, you've got to give credit to Inter.
Exactly. Up 2-0. Barcelona comes back, scores another 3 goals, and then Inter scores another third goal to take it into extra time. That's commitment right there. That's competing. I don't know what the fuck this guy was watching. Oh, Inter's not competing. Just because you had a shitty ass career doesn't mean that you have to shit on other teams. Serie A. Just because he's not watching Serie A doesn't mean Inter's ass. Doesn't mean they don't have the quality to be a good team like Barcelona. They made it that far because they're good.
Back in the day, we're not as good. We're going to go to Old Trafford. The great Man United teams and the great Arsenal teams, and we're going to down tools because, well, they've got Bergkamp, they've got Henry. We're just going to down tools because they're better than us. That's not football.
Yeah, but
that's crazy. Bro, put him in his place. He's like, yeah, but, bro, put him in his place. Nah, Gillis, get the fuck out of here, man. You don't have no ball knowledge whatsoever. You have no ball knowledge.
But they were better than you.
They were better than us. They were better than us. But I tell you
That's
what
I'm saying.
Okay, that's fine. They were better. But they were better. But you know what? They were better. But the mindset and the mentality changed, and we said, all right, let's roll these socks up. Let's go. And what happens?
I agree.
You get a result.
Damn, that's right. You roll your socks up, you get the result, and that's it. No. But I agree. I agree. We both played ball. I know. They're better though. They're better. They should have won though. Anyways, they're better.
Who doesn't get credit?
Hold on, I agree with you, but I would never make the argument that Inter showed more grit and competed more and worked harder and wanted it more. I think
2 different styles of gameplay. 2 different styles. Inter's never always going to be on the attack. Inter will always pretty much be on the defensive and play it methodical. They'll wait until you make a mistake. Once they get that one counter, boom. They capitalize on that counter. They capitalize on that mistake that you made. Like, they really capitalize on the mistakes that you make. And it showed. The mistakes that Barcelona made, they capitalized on it. Sure, they were playing a little bit more defensive, but that's any other team. It's like Atletico Madrid. That's how they play. Literally how they play. They got the 4-4 in the Copa del Rey. They got 4-4 against Barcelona because that's the exact same style. Pretty much is the exact same style as the Serie A. I don't know why this guy's saying that Inter wasn't competitive. They didn't like hold the ball. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. Because that's a different style of gameplay. That's a different style of ball. Serie A, you're not going to have the same style. You're not going to have like 90 minutes of like back and forth. Like, what the fuck is that? You wait? You counter? That's how Real Madrid was. They waited. Barcelona had so much possession. They waited and they countered. But everybody still wanted Real Madrid to win. You know what I'm saying? It's not that Real Madrid wasn't competing. They waited until Barcelona made a mistake. They capitalized on that mistake, counterattacked, and then boom, a goal came in, and another goal came in. And that's what Inter's doing. They waited. It's not to say that they're competing. Like, to compete, if they were competing, they wouldn't have had a 7-7 or 7-6 goal difference. If they really weren't competing and they didn't want it, they wouldn't be at the final.
I think that's like an easy storyline to fall into because an Italian side and they were clever. When you play the way Barcelona played and the way Flick wants to play, you can throw grit and talent and everything out the window. When I see a back line come up like this with no pressure on the football and they're saying, hey, play it in the 50, 60 yards of space behind us, that's why they lost this tie. They didn't lose this tie for me because they didn't want it. You see guys crying at the end of the game. I thought they competed. I thought they won first balls, second balls. I thought Inter also take nothing away from them. They competed as well. But when you play...
Didn't he just say that Inter didn't compete? Didn't he just say Inter didn't compete? This guy's so contradictory. Holy shit. But yeah, that's gonna be the take on that. I think Barcelona really made a lot of mistakes. People are gonna say that the refs also were pretty biased in my opinion. This is more like a super defensive, better Atletico Madrid in my opinion. Like it's a really good Inter Milan, and you just can't take that away from them. You know what I'm saying? Like let's look at this goal right here. This is I think this is the Rafinha goal, right? No, it's not. They left him by himself too. This right here, this goal, insane. Given so much space. Look at that. That's a mistake they made right there. Defensive mistake. Capitalize on that. They capitalize on their mistakes. You can't tell me they can't, like, they're not competing. This Daniel Olmo goal. Look at that. He saw him from a mile away too. And then he also got this. Look at that. Best saves. The keeper, Sommer, was insane. Look at this goal. Look at this stop right here. Boom. Tip. Look at that. Tip of the gloves. Jamal was insane. The only reason why I didn't want Barca to win was because of Rafinha. I'm not a huge fan of him. Pedri, Gavi, like they're just glazing. Jamal's the only Barca player I really like. Only Barca player I like. Look at that save. So like they made so many mistakes when finishing. It's crazy. And then for Arsenal for yesterday's semi-final, PSG has really solid individual players that know how to move. You know, they know how to mix. They know how to mix players pretty much. Fucking Hakimi's insane. Nuno Mensch, Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz as well, insane. All right, let's look at these goals. This Fabian Ruiz right there controlled it with the chest. Oh, moved it. Look at that. Look at the way he took out. Look at that. Boom. Made himself some space. Got a Scalia right here. Oh my gosh, insane. See, like the individuality of these players is just crazy. Like they have a mind of their own. They don't play like robots like Arsenal does. And sure, at some point it'll get you far, but it won't get you to finals. That's what I'm saying. That Donnarumma save against Odegaard, crazy. I don't know how he did it. That's probably like the save of the year. Like insane power shot and everything. Look at this. Is what I'm saying. Saka. That's all we saw from him the whole match. That's literally what it was. Another save, crazy. And they were all Donnarummas too. But there were several good shots from Arsenal. I personally don't like Arsenal in my opinion. And that's pretty much it. Like I don't hate the team, but I like PSG, and I always wanted to. I want PSG to win. I want PSG to win the Champions League simply because I know that they had Neymar and they had Mbappe, they had Messi, and they still couldn't win Champions League. And now that all three of those are gone, this is gonna be the first year that this is gonna be the first year without Mbappe that PSG wins the Champions League. That's crazy. Mbappe left to go to Madrid because he thought he was going to win, more trophies there. But as soon as he left, PSG wins the Champions League. That's crazy to think. That's crazy to think. With that being said, I do like the final. PSG versus Inter Milan, first time they go head-to-head in history. First time they go head-to-head. And this is going to be an insane match, to be honest. Like, this is going to be an insane match. Overall, I'm really happy that Barcelona didn't win. And if you look at the commentator, he has no ball knowledge at all. I think that's going to be it for today. If you guys like the video, make sure to like button, subscribe, and see you guys next time.